Hello and welcome to our program Where God Weeps. Today, the suffering Iraqi people claims the help after the vicious violent attack of the radical Islamic group ISIS, jihadists from the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, who seek to create a fundamentalist Islamic caliphate in the region. To tell us more about the situation of Christians in this region, it is my privilege to welcome Mrs. Pascale Warda, former Minister of Immigration and Displacement in the Iraqi interim government. Pascale, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for you.
Pascale, you are Iraqi,
Yes.
and you belong to the Assyrian Chaldean Catholic Rite Church. Have you been persecuted? Have you suffered persecution for these reasons, you yourself?
Maybe in Europe or in Occidental countries, they discover now that we are persecuted as Christians. But believe me, Christians are persecuted since century, more than 1 century, even since present time. But to say in our time is since 1915, we are in ongoing genocide situation, in silent, perfect silent. In my age, I remember since I am born, this is 4th time my father rebuilt a house. It was always destroyed, burned. My village, like all other Christian villages in northern area, were completely destroyed many times by regimes, by a regime after other. All they were regimes who came with many religious principles in the politics. They always mixed and with non-real governance, non-real politics to guard the public good for everybody. So we were always subject to persecutions. I remember in 1965, my father, when he came out from the prison, he have no more his
nails.
Yes, nails, because he was so tortured because he give bread to Kurdish rebellions, or Kurdish rebellions say the same thing. We give bread to army when they came in the areas. You know, the area of north of Iraq was a very undeveloped area, and when rebellion were there to fight each other, they go to villages to eat. So you are obliged when they come to you. If you don't give them to eat, you will have also problems. So since that time, I remember we are in a situation of opposition, of thinking that we are really we have no responsibles of country.
Now, Pascale, you're talking about situation during Saddam Hussein regime.
Yeah.
But what about now? What is going on now? Can you
Yes.
describe for us? I know it's a very complex situation. What's going on there right now? But just to get an idea of this ISIS, ISIL, and what is the situation of Christians and in general the minorities in northern Iraq.
In general, like Iraq, like country, I think we were planning, and we were those who normally had to be the alternative of Saddam Hussein, and we came with big hope that every group who did participate in opposition, we were saying it's finished, Saddam is gone, now we will rebuild. But the problem was, when we came, we saw a society which was already sectarianist society. So those political parties who were, most of them, and especially Muslim one, were all Islamist group. and not really professionals of politics. They were like a group like Dawah and High Council, Islamic High Council. They were, groups of Islamization mission more than politics in itself. But
so this dream of the caliphate has been latent in these groups.
No, you can say it in some way, but not in the way of caliphate. It's in the way that they were trying to make with Islamist groups to make a society for all under Islamic rules, but in which they were very sure that will not be successful like Afghanistan or like Iran. They were both very bad examples to Iraqi society, because Iraqi society is not one color society. It's very multi-religion. We have only the old religions who are recognized by constitution, by Iraqi tradition. We have 4 official religions which are not similar to each other. We have the oldest one, Jewish, which we don't account now because it left maybe some person from Jewish presence, even not 12 person, I don't know. We have Christianity, non-Christians. We have Islam, the biggest of religions. We have Mandai, Sabia, who are the minor minority of the country, who are the adept of St. John the Baptist. We have Yazidis, who are the oldest religion in Iraq, who come up from the time of Zoroastrian time, of even older than that. So those people, they exist till now as religions and as ethnic groups, because we are not defined only as religions. We, as Christian, we are most of us Assyro-Chaldean or Chaldean-Assyrian or Assyrian. When you hear Assyrian or Syriac or Chaldean, we are the same society as ethnic presence, yes, ethnic group. But we do have those divisions of sectarian level because of church divisions. So each patriarch made as he is the emir of an emirate. So, but if you come to the reality, we are one people, we are one origin, one problem, one language, one history. But in all other areas, you see people is not really in the idea of division of Iraq. We were always working in unity, in the spirit of unification of Iraq, of unification of people of Iraq. If you see, we as Christian, we are the refuge for Sunnah and for Shia. When they have problems between them, they come to us and they feel they feel their house in our house. So it means there is a kind of homogeneity between people, which is a real crime to cut it, to divide it. But seeing the redrawing of the map of the region, I think Iraq is condemned now. I was very shocked when I was in California last summer, and I saw from very far. I was in a car going to California, and I saw the Times. Maybe you have seen the Times magazine. Mm-hmm. The end of Iraq. I was just.
Yeah, for you as an Iraqi, it must be very hard to see that.
Yeah, it was hard. It's horrible to think that a solution is to just cut Iraq of 3 pieces. I see this, and I was in many meetings with Congress and others. I say, please, if this is the policy you are doing, so if Iraq is able to be cut of 3 pieces, why it will not be possible to do it 4, because where we are going after. Are you agreeing that we still under feet of everybody? We have also a right in this country. And if you cut it like that, Sunna Shia accords, we have to leave completely, because you are growing up a spirit of people who will speak and work and deal only sectarianly, and not like citizens for somewhere. So our destiny, what is? we will be in very bad situation.
What do they respond? I mean, it's a very simple way to put this question, but
Exactly.
it is very legitimate.
I think
what would they answer?
Well, exactly, it is legitimate, and if internationally saying the program is to really divide Iraq, please, we have also our originality, and we have somewhere which is, as we say it in France, it can be a pied-à-terre. Our place is Nineveh Plain. Nineveh Plain is not only that, is Hamdaniya to Sinjar for Yazidis. All minorities are there. And even a part of Samel and Duhok is minority areas, which is under Kurds now, and which is difficult to say about it. But this is the reality. Those are our properties. Even Duhok is 80% of Duhok is Christian property in history. Now, you know, with all those policies of making pressure on Christian, they left, and the villages were occupied by Kurds because of this policies of political parties who always encourage politics of getting more and me more, you know, powerful than you, etc. So this situation of those groups, Iraq is a problem of Iraq. Number one is that Iraq never was led by leaders, really.
To the Western societies is, I think, really amazing, surprising, staggering to see these young girls, very young women, that are being seduced by the jihadists. They call themselves the jihadist brides.
Yes.
What is the allure that they see? Why these young women feel attracted to this culture, to this fanaticism?
Many things are inside this. I can tell you from an experience I did in official level was to be a part of a committee Maliki made to study the phenomena of suicides women who were killing themselves, also to jihad, to kill others because they were not agree of our change, etc. In 2009. I was to the prison of minors where the jihadist women were there, and I interviewed them. Why you do this? The one who had a child from a Saudi who like this, because she's doing jihad, so she was given as present by her father to that Saudi. Believe me, all this kind of amalgam is just for people who are ignorant. They ignore what they are going to do. The heaven is explained that like something that they will gain it with going to anything they ask them to do. I was seeing a YouTube yesterday, a father who gave in Syria his daughter saying, please, this is a sacred jihad, and he brought many men to one child of 14 years. Child of 14 years. What is the jihad doing with this very unrespectable acts against the childhood of this little girl? So it was the same thing. Those who I saw, especially those in Europe, because naive, and because money is after that also. There is money, which very much money, which is versed for that. I think it's a problem of money, of ignorance of what they are doing, and also there is. For Europe, there is an emptiness of spirituality. This emptiness, anything will take place. Right. I think there is a problem of missing spirituality, missing some very profound thing inside of European young people and youth. And I think there is a big duty of the church, of people who are high educated, for thinkers, to bring that it's a time of thinking really seriously to your situation. You are the most targeted now. You are easily enrolled in those actions because of ignorance of the fact. And when we are in the experience we speak, you don't like to understand, even to hear, because you account us, we are speaking integrism, Christian integrism. No, we have many Muslim friends, and I am a friend of maybe biggest number of Muslims than Christian in Iraq, and we live like brothers, no problem. When they are people who understand, who respect you, who you respect, they choose you even to their safety than choosing another Muslim, because they say, and they say it clearly, that in your house, in your care, we feel secured. In my very near family, I don't feel secure. Feel secured. So this is a value where we live. We have to live regardless to the political idea or opinion, the religious opinion. As people, as human, we live together as citizens to this aim. But those this is not only a phenomenon. This have roots in the history, and like Christian of Iraq, you can ask us to see that we were massacred along of history,
yes.
Our history, because of this way of dealing, where we were not agree. Maybe our fault or our faults of like Christian, and especially because we have no real leaders, civil society leaders and civil leaders to bring our voice and to say how many years or how many time we just try to make the convenience of others and not to say the truth such as it is, because of many considerations, to not make it worse, to not the brotherhood between us, to don't make it worse, etc., etc. But this is false. If you don't know where is your illness and what is like illness, kind of illness, you will never come with solution.
Pascale, finally, we're running out of time, but I would like to ask you, because you're very involved in migration and in displacement. Mm-hmm. And some time ago, I heard one of the bishops saying that being a refugee, being out of your homeland, is always very painful. But it's even worse when you are a refugee in your own country. Mm-hmm. Now, my question to you is, all this movement of people in the Iraqi territory, what's going to happen? Because they move to one place and then it becomes unsafe. They move to another area and then the attacks come there. What's going to happen with these people moving from one place to another, searching for security and safety?
Very, very bad situation. I was in Baghdad and I was distributing humanitarian relief to those who were. This is third displacements in 2003 for them. They were displaced from Dora to another area in Baghdad for months, and they were displaced to the north. And they came back from the north. Now they are displaced again, and they would like to come back. They came back from many areas, from Nineveh and Mosul. They came back to Baghdad. This is instability in all senses. And this is very difficult for families, for those who have children. It's really a kind of a calvary, kind of a suffering, continuous suffering for Christian and for others, because it's not only a Christian issue. It's Yazidis, all minorities in general, and even from a majority. We have cases. We have in Mosul a very big problem. All Mosul people does not agree with what is happening. But that is the issue. Iraq is a large country. It was possible to find, if we were really given real leaders, political leaders, in spirit to pass their times in the war one against other, were possible to develop some areas. If Nineveh Plain, which was very peaceful area, was developed, and people of Nineveh Plain who are there, is their right, is their property, stay stable. What was the worst if from Baghdad they come to Nineveh Plain and they are very similar people, they are the same people, they can just be assimilated, no problem. It was easier for everybody, for them, for system, for countries who are obliged to welcome them without any paper, without any organization, etc., etc. Because it's never a real solution, the last solution to bring everybody outside. I remember experience of Turkey in 80th. I was in France and I welcomed 1,000 of Christians from Turkey, and I was making their files, and I saw it's a horrible and a real genocide also, because all family must leave, from grandfather to children to, and when you see them like that to come and to have everything is need for them, is horrible. You know, we were tired years and years without any language problem issue, without any, you know, the children, you know, they will grow up there and they have no follow really because of language of parents, because of the situation, change of the situation. They have to really pass of their lives years and years to be just to bring what to eat for those children and to do anything they can. And you know, it's not evident for people.
Pascale, continuously you mentioned the word international protection. Is that your cry? Is that what you want from the international community?
Yes, because we have no other solutions. Because our army proved us that they are unable to protect us. Because international community is a gathering of all countries. Iraq is a member of that gathering. So Iraq is in a situation which as a country, need all kind of help. So it's not all to have money, to have petrol. When we can't administrate that money and that petrol, is better to don't have it. We have all this, but what we are doing of ourselves, you see the poorest people is Iraqi people now, in all senses of housing project, of even you know, nothing is developed in Iraqi cities. Iraqi citizenship is waiting forever. When will come the time that he feel he have a country, he have a stability, he have a right of everything to be a normal right. So this is the responsibility of those who run for elections, number one. But it's the responsibility also of all society to do what they can do. But we would like to say this is the problem for us, because the leadership is not necessarily comes throughout only the elections. Now we have a democracy of number, of a big number, not democracy of quality, of people who can really explain democracy in the fact of the life. So I would like to say we need international protection, in the sense that we are a country which is trying to rebuild itself, and without democratic tools, never we will be able to do it. I say it from the first day, because where we will get it? From our neighboring countries? I'm very sorry. 5 neighboring countries will not teach us any second of anything of our life. They are just making us problems, and forever they will do this. So we need international support in sense of security tools reconstruction, in sense of reorganization of our administration. We are victims of huge corruption, which became a culture, which became a normalized issue, that if you are not a battle in corruption, you have to.
You're a fool if you're not taking advantage of the system.
You are not okay. You have something. You miss something in your life. So this is a very dangerous thing. Will not finish from 1 day or 2 days. I think the protection will not only protect or help to protect life in the areas, but will also protect and monitor, because this is international level. We can have monitoring in human rights issues and etc. Will monitor the way of dealing of those forces or of those administration tools or institutions with others. I am the head of the delegation who we really fighted for a new university in Nineveh Plain. because of our students were killed going to the university from Nineveh Plain to Mosul. They were killed between two checkpoints. I'm sorry, between two checkpoints, the cars of students are killed. Who can kill them if you are really checkpoints there? So twice our students, Christian students, were killed in the checkpoints. So we were just to high Ministry of Education to say, please just make a university here. Why Mosul will have only one university? And we insist, and we got a new university there. And then it's difficult. We will not have scientific sections because we need the laboratories. That's only the problem for a petroleum country. I'm sorry. We will go to other countries to bring those laboratories. And I just made a project. I gave a copy to Americans, a copy to French, and both of them they collaborate. And we had the laboratories. We had the whole things to do for university needs.
Infrastructure.
Till university will be ready, rebuild it. So we got place from church, we got some houses, so to make it a little bit near to be university, we got help from everybody. So it was done, and we have universities since 6 years. It's okay. Now we were able to open scientific sections, but it's now in the hand of ISIS. I don't know what they will do. It was supposed that we will take the keys in August of new university rebuilt by government, because it's a government university. So it was done because we were there to say to government, no, you can, you have, you can, you do. And they did. They did what they were able to do. So those tools were very important to stability of the area. Government institutions, when they came there, they give confidence to people that they can stay. Why Nineveh Plain was the most stable area of Christian. They were not migrant. They were not liking to asking to be migrant. Never. It's new for them since 2003. They just would like to leave because they are not stable and they are targeted and they are not protected.
They're not safe.
Yeah, are not safe.
Pascale, thank you so much for being with us today, and it was really important to listen from you, a protagonist of the history of Iraq in this time, to hear about the reality that you are facing, particularly the Christian community. Thank you.
Thank you for you.
And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us in another program of Where God Weeps. If you want to know more about the situation of Christians in Iraq and how you can help them, we encourage you to contact information at the end of this program. Thank you, and God bless.